Warning, this podcast, website, and associated social media accounts are intended for audiences of legal drinking age. We do not advocate overconsumption or the abuse of alcohol. Never drink and drive, drink responsibly. And please remember to always take what we say with a grain of salt. After all, we are just some dudes with some brews.
We started out by crawling out from under the thumb of the man. The lovers of God with dad bods just trying to feed our fam. Go sit right there and grab a beer, you know just what to do. Throw it back, get hammered, and listen to dudes and brews.
Yeah, literally.
Makes me think of when we went camping and we had that moose walk through our camp.
Yeah, kind of like that. It was literally just a video of, like, you know, tents have the opening mesh on top.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
that horse was, like, looking down, and he's just like, This horse is watching me sleep.
Okay, that's weird enough, I guess. Horse watching you sleep.
Yeah, it's creepy.
I mean, I guess it just depends. I mean, because when I was a kid, we would go... The main place where I went camping, we'd just go over to my buddy Devin's land.
Mm-hmm.
And he had land that went, like, beyond the creek. So we had to go across the creek to get to his, we called it the big pond.
Yep.
Probably about a half acre big. I mean, it was a pretty large pond for a pond. And we just camped out there. I remember one year we camped out there and he would always bring a gun with him just in case coyotes or bobcats or something came up. And one year we woke up in the morning and we thought there was a coyote outside of our tent.
Mm-hmm.
Just took a shot to try to scare it away. Come to find out, we're over here terrified, like 15-year-old kids, and it ends up being one of his dogs. We didn't hurt his dog or anything.
Shoot it.
Well, I mean, he shot it like towards the air, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was the one doing it.
And it traveled all the way out there looking for him, huh?
Yeah, he just came out there just to see what was up. Yeah.
Move over, let me in.
Because those are the type of dogs that you just let roam free.
Yeah, for sure.
Like when you're out there, you don't even worry about putting them on a leash or on a fence them in. Just let them roam.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Like they know how to come back home.
I wish I had land like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice. But weather kind of sucks today. But because it's kind of cool, I said, let's drink a porter.
Yes.
So, Deschutes Brewing Company.
Deschutes? Is that how you say it? Is it German?
I mean...
Deschutes.
That's the way I say it.
It's an award-winning craft beer and handcrafted ales in Oregon.
Yeah.
Dude, this bottle opener, I'm sure you got 100 bottle openers.
You not like that one?
Dude.
Oh, I was going to tell you all about that one, and you're not even being able to use it.
It's not.
There it goes.
I mean, it'll work, but that screw needs to be, straightened out.
Well, so this is handmade, handcrafted in Uganda.
Well, the handcrafted wood is not the problem. It's the screw that's bent.
Yeah, that's what I was told when he gave it to me. He said sometimes the screws are perfect and it opens up with no problem. Sometimes they're not. This is a new one. Here you go.
And then you get complaints.
And then I'm the one that... And then I got the one that doesn't open correctly.
See what I mean? It's cool, though.
Yeah, handcrafted from Uganda. There's like a... I don't know. My buddy goes over there. His wife's from there.
It's nice.
And they... Yeah, he always buys them because he'll buy a handful of them just to help that dude out.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll just give them away.
Yeah. Some nice craftsmanship.
Yeah. I'm like, neat idea.
Yeah. It also kind of looks like a weed pipe.
That's what everybody says. It looks like a pipe.
Yeah.
Oh, you give me a pipe? No, it's a bottle.
Yeah, you just carve it out. And, I mean, if you have this as a keychain or something, it'll be a little sus.
Yeah, no. Like hanging in here at the house.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just a regular old porter.
Just a regular porter.
So not anything crazy. Now, we have had a couple of beers from these guys before.
Have we?
We had their fresh squeezed IPA. I think is what it's called. Yeah, this one right here.
It's got a nice head on it.
Oh, you poured it a lot heavier than I did.
Oh, dude, yeah. You gotta let it open up.
We've had this.
We have had
this.
that one, yes.
Yeah.
And now that I see the logo with the Deschutes.
You're right. This one's a little bit different.
It's bringing me back. This one, dude, it kind of, I know it's supposed to be the Black Butte, like in Oregon, but it kind of looks like the Nile and like some kind of Egyptian picture.
Oh, okay.
Like a pyramid.
You're seeing it as a pyramid instead?
Yeah, like it's giving me like a Egyptian vibes.
I'm glad that you knew that a Black Butte was something.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you have mountains, you have...
It's a stratovolcano? How do you say that? Am I saying that right?
Stratovolcano, yeah, it's weird. I've never heard that before.
Some sort of a volcano?
Yeah.
That's what I'm reading.
I remember, like, from school, like, you have different land structures, like valleys and hills and mountains.
Yeah,
and
you do. What is it?
Buttes.
Buttes
is one of them.
Really?
And then, what's the one that's flat? Is that the Butte?
It's, no, flat. It's, like prairie land.
No, like, it's like a mountain, but flat.
Oh, it's flat on the top? Maybe
Yeah,
that is a Butte.
maybe
I mean, it
that
does
is.
look a little flat on the top. It's like there's peaks not quite as peaky.
Uh-huh. This
Sounds
one's an
really
actual volcano, though. Nice. Yeah.
I mean, cool.
They're
Didn't know
saying
that.
it was like last erupted, look at that, 0.4, 0.5, 1.4, or 0.33 million years ago.
So at some point in time...
What's the difference between, that's such a big difference.
Yeah.
0.4 to 1.4. That's a million-year difference.
Yeah.
Sometime in there. You might as well have said 1,000 to 1,000,000.
Yeah, it just goes... It erupted at some point in time?
Dude, it's erupted.
Cool.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
But, dude, up there, see, that's in Oregon, all that area, Yellowstone, all of that, that's like crazy volcanic action underneath the surface. That's like what whole Yellowstone is.
Oh, is that why they have so much like tectonic plate shifting?
Yes. And that's where they, like, scientists estimate that could be like the end of all North America.
Oh, really?
If all that erupts or blows up or something, it could be the end of everything. I don't know a lot about it, but I just know that that's a lot of volcanic action up there.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it. I mean, I've seen pictures and stuff, and Oregon looks awesome.
Yeah,
as far
Oregon's
as
beautiful.
the landscape goes. I think it looks beautiful. So like going to like a national park, I think would be great.
Yeah.
But doing anything else over there, I don't really care to explore Oregon.
Surfing. You ever wanted to surf?
You don't surf in Oregon though, do you?
Yeah, you do. Dude, they
Oregon's
do.
landlocked.
Oregon? Okay, no, I'm sorry. Are you sure? Oregon is? No, I think Oregon's on the coast.
No.
You can't surf?
No. Because California and Washington.
Right. And then Oregon's between the two. Look.
I thought Oregon was above Nevada, is it not?
No, look, it's the same thing. It's like all that's the same area. It's basically Northern California. Yeah, see?
Oh, geez, it is. I thought it is above
It's
Nevada.
like cold
so.
surfing, though. Like the people that surf there wear like the wetsuits and stuff.
Oh, I
Because
got
it's
you.
cold up there.
Yeah, this is not, for some reason, my mind was thinking it was like here where Idaho is and California hit Washington, but I'm an idiot.
So up there in Washington, I've been to the ocean there.
Up here?
Like pretty much from Seattle, drove west to the ocean, and you're talking 30-degree drop in temperature in the summer.
Oh, geez.
Once you get to the ocean, it's
Yeah.
weird. It's like cold all of a sudden.
I guess that makes sense because like I've heard of San Francisco. Like my brother went to visit in like the middle of the summer. Mm-hmm. He's like brought shorts and a t-shirt. It's summertime,
And it was cold, huh?
and he had to buy a hoodie while he was there because it was cold because it's right there on the bay.
Right.
And he's like, the way the wind comes in or something, it's like a brisk like 60 degrees all year long,
Yeah, it's wild.
and it's like it's a different 60 degrees than it is here in Texas because it's windy.
Yep. But then you look north, like Canada is like freaking Iceland's up there. So it's not that far. When you're in Oregon,
Right.
you're really not that far from it's
From
pretty much
Canada.
just like how far are you from the equator? And yeah, it's all.
Yeah, because from what I
further.
understand is that like northern Canada is not even that populated. So what
Yeah.
I've understood, if you look at a map, I've seen a map of like population, and literally like there's a belt right here that borders the United States. That's where like, and I may be exaggerating a little bit, but I'm thinking like 80% of Canada's population is like right here by the border.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, you know that I watched that show Alone,
Yeah.
and it's filmed up there. So they drop them off up there and then nowhere lands.
Yeah.
Where it's just like isolated, no one lives there. It's hard.
Right.
Whenever the winter comes, it's hard to survive. So like that show always starts at the end of like fall, where they have a little bit of time to do some fishing and stuff.
Right.
But then it really gets hard once the winter comes.
Oh,
There's
really?
no more animals. There's no more fish.
Yeah, see, this is the map that I've seen
Yeah, look at that.
where, like, most of it is right here, and then all this black is nothing.
It's cold. So you can imagine, I mean, even people who live in Canada there,
Like,
that's
it's
cold area.
sparsely
That's snowy.
populated is what they
Oh, yeah,
listed
yeah.
as.
Way up there. I mean, look at Alaska. I mean, that's
But
who,
not
who
even-
lives in that kind of area.
Which, granted, this is only talking about Canada. This map is.
Yeah.
But, I
Yeah,
mean,
for
look,
sure.
it's literally, there's like a belt right here next to the U.S.
But in that belt, it's cold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
It's
reason
wild.
why, like, people from, like, Montana or Wyoming, like, Michigan, they're just, like, beefier dudes. That's
Yeah.
why that's why hockey's popular up there. Not just because it's cold, but because they're, like they're built different. Like, they're bred.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say they're built different. They're like, bred differently.
Yeah.
Like,
and they ice skate because it's snowing.
well, yeah, I mean, that definitely helps, but I'm just saying,
Outdoor
like,
sports.
size-wise, though.
Yeah, they're big dudes.
Like, yeah.
So you think that the weather makes you beef up?
It does. I really do. I think there's like an adaptation that has happened even just within the United States. And over time, people adapted to the colder weather because they need to have the extra, like, I don't know if I would say muscle density or fat or whatever it is to keep them through the winter. It's like how, like, bears, like, hibernate during the winter time.
Yeah.
I mean, very similar.
This is very much bro science.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is very much bro science because Canada.
But doesn't that make sense,
the
though?
people who live in Canada it's like America. It's a melting pot of cultures. You know what I
Okay.
mean? A lot. I mean, unless you're like one of the natives, like the native Canadians,
Like
or
the-
they call them like first. What do they call them? They don't because
First
they're not
Nation?
First Nation people.
Yeah.
The First
I
Nation
almost
people
said
have been there
Aborigines, but that's like Australia.
yeah. So they've been there for a long time, but most people French. They come from France. There's a lot of French Canadian that come
Yep,
there.
that's all in Quebec.
Yeah. So, but there's a lot of other cultures too. So it's just funny that you think that they've adapted and like put on this.
Oh,
Like,
I'm just
natural
saying
weight.
that's what I see in like the U.S.
Because adaptation is something that would have to take a long time to happen.
sure.
And I don't think that migration is really. It's weird how young even.
The U.S. is, yeah.
The U.S. is. It's crazy when you think about it. It's almost like you feel like it's like, oh yeah, we've been here for thousands of years. It's crazy.
No, like Joe Rogan has a joke about it where he says we've been here like, and it's a little bit longer than that now. I think he said we were here. People came to America 3 people ago, like
Yeah.
300 years ago, 400 years ago.
I know, it's wild.
It's like 3 or 4 generations. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's not that much.
Yeah.
Not that much adaptation. But what has happened is like our food has changed a lot. So therefore, there's a lot like a change in body shape for the food that we eat.
So you think maybe it's because like when the term corn-fed is like a real deal because they have cornfields up north, so maybe they do get more corn, and that's how they beef up. I don't know, like because you've heard that term of corn.
I have
corn-fed
guys. But the irony behind that is corn has no nutritional
Yeah,
value.
I know.
It goes in and out. It's
I
like
know.
you're eating nothing. You can eat corn all day long.
Oh yeah, I know.
And it's wild.
It's just kernels.
Yeah, it just goes in and out. So
Because your body absorbs all the
but it-
nutrients, and there's no nutrients when you eat that. I know.
But hey, it's so good though.
Hey, I
Slap
eat
some
the crap
butter
out
on
of
it.
it,
The
man.
butter will fatten you up. Maybe that's where the corn fed from the butter.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I don't know where does that expression come from?
no idea.
I would imagine it's from the guys working the cornfields. Like, just a farmer, farming families or farming young men.
I'm not sure.
Corn fed.
I've never even thought about it until just
Looking
now.
well fed, plump, rustically wholesome. Yes. That's what I'm imagining. Someone with some overalls, a rustic look. Corn fed. Yeah, where'd it come from?
Let's see if we can find it here. That's funny that rustic.
Mm-hmm.
Why does such a word be described as joking? I believe it comes from a rural America, the Corn Belt. Jokes that were so obvious and heavy-handed were considered the kind of jokes the Hicks would understand.
So it's just about being stupid.
Yeah, it's about being corny.
Yeah,
Like, you're corny.
Even
you're
the term
dumb.
corny is like
Yeah.
we've rebranded that one, but
So when you say corn-fed, you're calling someone dumb. I mean, I don't picture.
you're corn fed. Yeah.
No.
It's like jokes will go over your head. It
Right.
has to be like an obvious joke or you won't get
Which
it.
is funny because, like I said, I think of like the build of a person, not how smart they are.
Right. Yeah, you've redefined that one too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I have.
like corn. Yeah, corn fed's when you're big and beefy.
I mean,
and
is
you've
that not what
adapted-
you've
And you've
heard?
adapted to the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never. No, I assumed. I just associate it with a group of people, and it's like the guys that are hard workers. Like,
Oh,
that dude's
okay.
that's a corn fed
Like
boy.
a blue collar type
Yeah,
person.
blue collar.
Okay.
That's what I always associated with, like the same difference.
I usually heard it with like big, like beefy, like football players.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, those guys are corn fed. They're big.
Yeah.
Those are big corn fed dudes.
It applies though, because those are like the big meathead guys.
Yeah.
You described as like a big dumb jock.
I guess.
meathead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
The corn's getting to their heads.
But so back to the beer.
Yes. Back to beer.
I think this beer's great. It's a good porter. It does have a little bit more roastiness, more body to it. I think it's good though. Like the roasty brings off like almost like a little bit of coffee.
It's not giving me enough flavor. I don't know. It kind of tastes like a stout.
Okay.
You know, it's not giving me enough flavor. I don't know what else to say about it other than that. It is roasty. It's not bad, but it's
It's
I don't
not
know.
blowing your hair back.
It's not blowing my hair back.
It says here, this beer is the beer that started it all. Named for iconic Black Butte, towering high above Central Oregon and seen for miles.
Mm-hmm.
The surprisingly balanced porter has notes of rich chocolate and coffee, a luscious creaminess, and roasted finish.
It is creamy. I can taste that cream.
No wonder
It's got a good
it's
feel.
America's favorite.
Is it America's favorite? I've never heard an American ever mention this beer.
Does any American ever mention a porter, though?
Not around here. Maybe in Oregon. They should say like Oregon's favorite.
Oregon's finest.
Oregon's finest.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. I don't hear a lot of people like, I love a good porter.
No, it's because in the South, it's all about light beer.
Yeah.
They drink light beers all day.
Yep.
Only recently, and I say recently, over the last 5 to 10 years, has craft beer really boomed. From what I understand, craft beer in California and Oregon has been around way longer than it has here in Texas.
Yeah. I'm sure that there's been craft brewers, but like the popularity of
Like
it.
the boom didn't
The
happen
boom,
here.
yeah.
As it's happened over there way earlier.
Oh, that's
way
interesting.
earlier. Because, I mean, you think about like Ballast Point's 25 years already.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have a lot of breweries here in Texas that are that old. I'm sure there might be a few, like St. Arnold's maybe.
Yeah, St. Arnold's is a comparable.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have some, but we don't. I think the boom is the difference. Like, we've always had craft beer.
That they just boomed earlier
And then
there.
just boomed. Yeah.
Okay.
We used to call, like, Shiner craft beer. Like, oh, get a Shiner.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll still drink a Shiner. It's good.
Yeah. It's still, I guess it's technically craft. It's handcrafted. I don't know, like, what makes it craft? Is it still handcrafted or is it machine made now?
That's the way that's what I understand the distinction is.
Yeah.
Do you pour the grain in by hand, or do you
Just have some
just
operation.
hit a machine and they do
I
it
bet
all?
that's what happens at Shiner now.
They just hit a machine?
Yeah. It seems like it's big enough to do that now.
Possibly. I don't
Yeah.
know. They put out a lot of beers, a lot of different styles, and honestly, I don't try hardly any of them. Because none of them look that appetizing.
I'm usually not too impressed.
Yeah, there's only been a
honestly.
handful that I've been like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah, I used to like that wild hair that they had.
Yeah.
That one was good. But it's been a while.
They
there's so
had
many
one
good
that was a
beers.
winter warmer that was good.
Yeah, I've loved their beers at one point in life.
Yeah.
But it's just there's so much good beer out there now. That,
We have a lot larger variety.
yeah,
now.
in contrast is clarity. You're drinking it and you're like, this one's really good. This one, it used to be good till I
Right.
tasted this. I think that's where I'm kind of struggling with this. I told you I had a porter a couple days
Yeah.
ago, and I think I'm kind of coming off that porter high that I
Okay.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know, it was similar. It was like 6.5% alcohol as opposed to 5.5.
Yeah.
This one is just like your basic porter,
Yeah.
but it tastes like a basic stout to me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, you know that soy sauce taste? I'm kind of getting it. I'm getting that soy.
This dude. I kind of really like it, but I also didn't have a porter earlier this week, so maybe that's why I have a difference in opinion. Because I'm going with a 4.
I'm gonna go with the 3.
A
It's
3?
good. It's roasty. It's smooth, like you said, creamy. It's got that creamy taste, but it's just not blowing my hair back.
So we're going 3.5 for the full thing. But let's go ahead and get into some games here. So let's do the debate club.
Okay.
So the first question is, you open your cabinet you see a loaf of bread. Okay.
Yes.
Loaf of bread. You see a little bit of mold on one of the slices of bread. Do you throw the whole loaf away, or do you just throw away that one slice?
It depends. It really depends. If the mold, it's gonna be a loaded answer, so just buckle up, right?
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready.
All right. So if the mold is like obviously only on one piece, then I will go ahead and use another piece and then throw the rest of it away. Because be like, oh, it's going out anyways. But maybe I'll give it one last run.
Yeah, you're like, I'll make one more sandwich, but this ain't gonna last for the next one.
No, it ain't gonna. I'm not putting it back in the cabinet. And it also depends on how close the mold is. Like if the mold is on the edge and it looks like it could be touching the other bread, and the other bread is like the one that would have to be on my sandwich, I'm gonna have to do a hard pass.
Okay.
There's got to be a degree of separation from the mold.
So you got to have one clean slice in between.
Maybe one clean slice, yes.
Okay.
Or one piece of mold in the middle of this side, and then I can grab this one and be like, okay,
I got you.
It's not close.
Right.
Still questionable when you think about it, though.
No, I'm of the contention of just tossing the moldy slice away and eating the rest of it. Now, I understand what you mean about throwing it back in the cabinet, because that does make it to where like it's already going bad. So am I wasting my time?
Yeah.
Possibly. But yeah, I don't throw food away unless it's bad.
Oh, man. Yeah,
So,
yeah, me too.
I mean, I'm making a sandwich, and then tomorrow I'm coming in. Oh, I don't see mold? Cool, I'm making a sandwich. Like, ain't no big deal to me.
Dude, one time I got these, I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but I was staying at this hotel and needed a little midnight snack. I went down to the snack machine and got some powdered donuts.
Nice.
And I'm not joking. Cracked it open, bit into the powdered donut, and then it was just like I was kind of eating it, and it was just something was weird about it.
Yeah.
I looked down, and it was a white powdered donut, and it was covered in white mold.
Oh,
it was
no.
disgusting. I started throwing up, man. I was just like, oh, just the idea of it, because it was weird and it got in my head.
Okay, so you were throwing up from the idea. It didn't like upset your stomach, which I guess it could have.
No, it didn't. It was just that I was chewing it up. I didn't
Right.
even know if I swallowed it. I chewing
That
it
is
up.
crazy.
And then I was feeling it, and I was like,
This feels weird.
something was weird. I don't know if it was the taste or the texture. And then when you look down and it looks like a cobweb of mold.
Yes.
Oh, dude, it was so disgusting.
Oh no.
I took it to the front office people, and I remember that they were like, "Oh," and like, you know, they weren't like trying to help me.
They were disgusted by it.
They were just like, "Oh, dude, yeah, throw that away." I'm like, "Whoa,
dude, it came out of your machine. Like,
yeah, we
what's
need to
up
do
here,
something
dog?
about this.
Like,
let's make this happen."
Give me a free room.
Yeah, I know. I should have. I didn't press it though. They didn't seem like they were like trying to be overly customer centric.
I mean, come on, those graveyard shift guys.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
They're graveyard shift for a reason. They don't want to deal with people.
Yep.
So on the same lines of things, if you make a meal and you have leftovers, how long do you leave the leftovers in the fridge before you throw them away? Like if you don't eat them and they just stay in the fridge for a few days, how many days is it before you're like, we don't need to be eating this anymore?
I don't have a set schedule on it. It's all about my feelings about the food. So like when I look at it the next day, does it look like something I want to eat? Then I'll give it a try next day. Do I want to eat it? And then there comes a period of time where I look at it so many times that I'm never going to eat it.
Yeah.
And then it just stays in the fridge until one day it's like, all right.
Until it's moldy.
Or until there's too much crap and there's no room.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's thrown out based on capacity, fridge capacity.
Okay.
And not based on how old it is. And then when I eat it,
Like
every
if
item's different.
Like if something's in the fridge for like, let's say 5 days, and for some reason you open the fridge and you're craving it, will you still eat after 5 days, or is that too long?
It depends. If it's like, okay, let's say it's a piece of cake, I'll probably eat it if I want to eat it. If it's 5 days later and it's a pork chop, I might be like, yeah, this thing's not going to taste good. Or like chicken, you can't microwave chicken. Chicken just tastes awful when it's microwaved.
I mean, nowadays you just throw it inside that
air
toaster
fryer.
oven, the air fryer.
It's a little better, but it still kind of has that weird reheated chicken taste.
Because like there's something like anything I do with rice, rice the next day just doesn't taste great. But I don't care. I'm like, cool, I'm chewing on rocks, whatever.
What?
Like,
your rice gets hard in the fridge?
It does sometimes.
What?
Like you have to have one of those containers that
wild.
gets like sucks the air out of it, because like the oxygen does something to it and like makes it to where it gets hard. And maybe it's because I do a lot of microwave rice.
Oh yeah, dude, what are you doing? Microwave rice?
Yeah, I'm just lazy sometimes.
No,
You know,
that's the problem. I've never
Hey,
had
Uncle
hard
Ben's
rice.
never done me wrong.
Yeah, don't you dare talk about Ben like that.
Like Uncle Ben does it right, where it comes in like a little pouch.
Yeah, I boil it. I do boil and bag.
Oh, what's that?
It just comes in little bags. It's in a box, and it's got individual bags, and you just boil them in water, and then you cut them open.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, dude, boil and bag. That's how you got to do it.
I need to do that. I mean, it's the same concept, it seems like.
Yeah, see? All those boiling bags, you just put them in hot water. They boil just like that, and that bag's got a bunch of holes to drain out all the water. And then, yeah, just like that, you drain it, and then you just cut it open and scoop it out with a fork.
Okay.
We always do that.
I mean, it's the same idea. I just throw it in the microwave, let it vent, it steams it, clean, gets it all nice and good.
Yeah, but based on what you were telling me, something's not right there.
And I don't know if it's because, like, I mean, I'll be honest, like, when it comes to, like, leftovers, like, as soon as I'm done eating, do I go put it in a bowl?
Oh, you leave it out?
I mean, not like overnight, but like a couple of hours, like if I'm lazy, or like if we do the dishes a couple of hours later or something. Maybe that's what it does.
Maybe, dude. That's, you know what? Have you ever taken like your food handler's permit?
No.
That's a big no-no.
I'm sure.
You don't let food get room temperature.
Oh, yeah.
You get sick. Even though we do it with pizza and stuff all the time.
Dude, I've never gotten sick off food.
Yeah.
Never had food poisoning, none of it. I got a stomach of steel. I feel like I could eat raw meat.
I used to feel that way, and then I don't know what happened. I'm like getting older, and now I'm weak, and like everything brings me down.
Really? Like when it comes to like food poisoning, I've never had it. I've never eaten something and was throwing up because I ate something bad.
Yeah. That's interesting.
No, and I've eaten food that is questionable.
Yeah.
I've been like, oh, let's de-thaw this meat, like whatever, pork chops, and go, okay, cool. For whatever reason, we didn't end up doing this tonight. Put it in the fridge to keep it halfway good, and then we just cook something else the next day or whatever, and it sits in the fridge for 3 days, and I go to open it, and I go, it'll be all right. Yeah, is it questionable? Probably.
Yeah,
I still cook it. I just use I'm like, as long as you cook it to 180 degrees, we're all good to go. You get no trichinosis from it.
Well, you got a good thing going, so just keep it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to stop now.
Like, I need to keep the enzymes in my stomach.
Yeah, you need all the bacteria. Leave all the food out. You just need to keep doing that. Don't stop on my accord.
I truly do feel that is a reason why some people get sick, because they don't expose themselves to like germs or bacterias. And maybe that is the reason why my body's just kind of used to it.
Yeah, and there actually is some science behind like the protection from germs, like germ-phobic people.
Yeah,
they end up being more susceptible to germs.
Right. Because your body doesn't know how to fight it.
Yeah, exactly.
I always think of that movie, Osmosis Jones. Have you seen it?
I've never seen it, but I know what it is.
Where there's like bouncers. They're like these guys. They're like bouncers at this club, and they're not letting certain people in. That's what I think about my immune system. I got big bouncers that are there to fight off this cold, while the other guys don't. Like. Yep,
that's what you visualize when you grab a piece of meat that's set out on your counter for 2 days, and you just go.
Yeah.
Bite into it.
So believe it or not, I want you to watch the ad for this product and tell me, is this product real, or is this a parody?
Okay.
Because quite frankly, I can't tell. And it frustrates me that I can't tell.
Well, Aubrey Plaza, in general, everything seems like it's a joke because she's hilarious, but she's got that like weird, dull personality.
Right.
No personality. And
well,
it's
I
like
don't know.
Now she's actually becoming famous now.
Yes.
She's like a big actress.
I watched her on freaking Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I used to watch her on Parks and Rec too, and she's hilarious there.
Yeah, but she was a nobody. Like her and Chris Pratt were nobodies.
Right. Chris Pratt, he's a big deal now too. Yeah, but she's late to the party. Chris Pratt's been in the A-list game for a while.
I mean, that's what happens when you get to Disney.
Yeah.
Disney helps you out, a Star-Lord. But so check this out and tell me what you think.
Looked at a tree and thought, can I drink this? I did. Hi, I'm Aubrey Plaza, co-founder of Wood Milk. World's first and only milk made from wood. Here at Wood Milk Orchards, we're certain that our artisanal wood milk
the way she was bonding with it.
You'll want to drink for the rest of your life. Why?
See, the way she's like loving the tree.
Our wood milk is bottled right here in the
wood
forest
for milking.
where the trees hit the dirt, which locks in the flavors like cherry, maple, and of course mahogany. And if you can't pick your favorite,
yeah, dude, you can't tell if this is a joke.
I can't.
Is this an SNL skit?
Is born. Not born, exactly.
This
More like
whole article's
squished
from
into
Wood
slime.
Milk.
No, hold on.
Let's give it a try.
Dude, look at that. They had a spout coming out of a piece of wood.
So are you telling me that you think it's fake?
100% wood milk is not a real thing.
Absolutely not. Only real milk is real. Then what did I invest in?
Yeah. Is your milk real? Okay, so what is the message?
Hold on.
Is the message about real milk? It's eco-friendly. Yeah, now I'm wanting to know what the whole message is here.
There's a whole website
Look
about it.
Look at the wood chips on her lip.
Dude. Like, there's a whole website about this.
This is not a joke. The world will have 10,000 new trees thanks to wood milk. But what
And you can buy shirts that say got wood.
What is it? It does a body wood. One tree planted. See, I think it's some kind of eco message about planting trees.
Here wouldn't. I mean, they went and took the time to make a whole website.
Dude, yeah, she was like acting real romantic with that tree.
Yes.
She's like smacking it on her cheek.
You know how commercials are nowadays, like Manscaped commercials.
Yeah,
like they're funny, they're kind of like parodies, but then they're selling a real product.
But the product that she's selling is absolutely fake. So then it's like, what's
There's
the
no
romance?
way.
Dude, you think that you can put
I have
a
no
spout.
idea.
You have no idea?
No.
Spout. It came out of a spout.
Yes, no. So that, I think, was just to make fun.
Okay. It's thick, and it has chips of wood in it. You saw her drink it.
That's what it looks like, but I can't tell if
No.
there really are chips of wood.
No, this is absolutely not real. I can't believe you're even questioning if it's real. The real thing is, like, what is the real behind it? Because you can't, you know how they have, like, different, like, oat milk. It's not truly milk. So the joke is, quit calling it milk. It's just oat. It's oat flavored liquid.
It's oats that have been soaked in water and drained.
Milk only comes from mammals.
Yeah.
So to say that anything is milk, like maybe that's the whole thing, is to say like quit calling things milk. But it's kind of like milk alternative.
It'll have, I don't know how we're making new trees.
Well, the world will have 10,000 new trees thanks to wood milk. Because
so here's a disclaimer.
It's just about selling shirts.
Our eco-friendly shirts are legit, and we will be planting
Yeah.
real trees in the ground, but please be advised that wood milk is 100% fake and completely made up.
Yeah.
Only dairy milk is real milk. Paid for by America's milk companies. Oh, that's funny. So it's the people that did Got Milk.
Right.
They're just doing this to advertise milk and sell more T-shirts.
And they're saying, hey, it's funny because we're getting people back into the milk world again because people just kind of gotten away from milk. The advertisement campaign from our government back in the 80s that milk is like all these things, like you have to have milk. Your bones are going to fall apart without it.
Dude.
It was all fake. And it's all like, okay, milk is not that healthy. It's not bad for you. It does have some good nutrition like most stuff, but
it's not the end all
milk
be all.
in itself is not good for you. If you drink milk all the time, it's fattening.
Yeah.
So
So
they're trying to bring some awareness. They're like, come back to milk. It does the body good again. And really, it does an environment good.
Right.
Because we're going to plant trees if you wear these cool milk shirts.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's the message.
I didn't read the disclaimer. And honestly, I didn't watch the entire commercial. I just saw a piece of it and was like, hey, because it was like an ad for my YouTube video.
Mm-hmm.
So I skipped it and said, oh, wait a minute, I should go look that up. That was kind of silly.
Yeah.
So I went to the website. I'm like, well, this website looks pretty legit. And just kind of messed around with it for half a second. And then I put it on here.
Yeah.
So I didn't know a whole lot about it.
It's actually interesting that they did all this. I'm still not 100% clear on it. Because even like that's paid by America's milk companies. Did they pay for that disclaimer? But they're not paying for the whole milk thing? Gonna be milk.
I don't know. Yeah.
Like milk is funny. Like, oh, got milk? Who's milk? Who's selling milk? It's like different companies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like what company's behind it, really?
Yeah, it's like, listen, we need to push for shoes. Yeah, but whose shoes?
Like Nike, Adidas.
Yeah, it's like, no,
Is
people need to be wearing
Borks?
shoes.
Is that weird? That's the only one I can think of.
What? Sport?
Border. What's a name a milk brand?
Oh, Borders. Yeah, with the milk.
Yeah, with like a little cow.
Ether. I think her name is Esther.
Esther? I don't know.
Esther, I think is her name. Either that or that's the glue. Esther, the glue.
Oh, like the
cow. The cow itself, maybe it's the
cow
glue.
From glue? Okay, from like Elmer's glue.
Either way, click on why wood at the top, though. I want to know like what this is saying. 100% fake. Wood milk has 0 grams of everything because it's literally fake, and obviously.
Wood milk has zero nutritional value.
Real dairy, simple ingredients.
Oh,
okay.
It's dairy milk versus wood milk.
Yeah. See, real dairy milk has 13 essential nutrients and minerals in every glass. This is a milk ad.
Yeah, it's
very interesting. I like
is.
it. I think that they're pulling it off nicely. I mean, look how much conversation we have just trying to figure it out.
Right.
Makes you want to drink some milk.
So this is the question. As a kid, did you drink milk with like dinner?
No, with dinner? No.
Dude, my
That's
granddad
hilarious.
drank milk with dinner. Like even, I'm sure he still does it today. When I was in high school, he was.
No.
Drinking a glass, he would have a glass of milk with dinner, and he would always go, "Hey, Joey, want a glass of milk?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. I'll just take some tea." Like I always thought it was weird, but apparently that's a thing that people did because of the boom in like the 80s and like early 90s.
Because it's the same thing with the pyramid, like the food pyramid.
Yeah.
They were bought into it. Oh, I gotta hit my values. I'm missing
Selling
something.
Everybody on grains and breads at the bottom. Like, get out of here.
Get your starches. Get this, and it's like, yeah, that's not all true.
Which I mean, if you have like a super active lifestyle, then you need carbs.
Yeah, carbs aren't bad.
So like
Yeah,
all
carbs
the
are
stuff
good.
that I think the food pyramid is good for like maybe an athlete. But like anybody else, I wouldn't even mess with it.
It's just like anything, even if it's something good, you can't have too much of it.
For sure.
So a good diet is a well balanced diet where you have proteins, you have fats, you have starches. Like it is important to have these different things. You have your vitamins and nutrition, but yeah, you just saying like we need to hit all these things in this pyramid. That thing's kind of falling flat.
Right.
And the milk too. Yeah, milk is like that's so funny that they would be like, we gotta drink our milk. My boss, when we travel, she drinks milk at bedtime. So it's like, oh, we got to stop at the grocery store. I got to get some milk real quick.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, she's like I don't know how old she is. She's definitely older than me. And it's like, this is like a little kid's thing. You're drinking some milk at bedtime?
Yeah, I bet she warms it up and everything.
She does.
Nice.
She drinks warm milk. But it's so funny to me. I'm like, what?
That is warm milk part is bizarre.
Yeah. But dude, I'm not joking. If I'm eating some cookies, the only time I drink milk is if I'm eating cookies. If I eat some cookies and then smash some milk, dude, I'm like sit back. I have the itis.
Dude, so like
I'm ready to go to sleep myself.
Like, I don't know. I don't do a lot of milk here at the house just because I don't need it for anything. Even to cook with, I usually just don't do milk. I don't know.
With milk.
Well, I mean, I'll cook with milk if I do like mashed potatoes or something. But that may be it.
Sour cream. It's a better alternative.
I was making mashed potatoes and I pulled out the milk and I was like, "Ooh, let me grab a glass." Hold on one second.
Dude, you know they were making a Twisted Metal movie?
I just saw something on this the other day.
I just saw that.
Who's the guy in it? Because there was somebody that
Anthony Mackie.
Anthony McKee.
Is it McKee?
That's the way I've always said it. I don't know if that's right though.
It's MACKIE.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
oh,
Mackie.
Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Andy McKee. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I saw this picture and I think it said like Twisted Metal and that's about all I saw. I didn't read anything else on it.
Dude, I loved Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal 2 was the best.
But do you know what this is, right? Did you ever watch the movie Death Race?
Oh, yeah. It's
thing.
like that. Yeah.
Same thing. I mean, I'm assuming it's the same thing, right? I mean, how else would it be different?
The only difference is they're going to be able to
it's not really a race.
Pay homage to the video game.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
You know, they'll have like, what's the ice cream dude's name?
No idea.
With the clown?
I didn't know what his name was. I mean, I've played it, but I don't remember.
Like the most famous one.
Yeah, I know who he is. I just don't know what they called it. Like
Sweet Tooth is his name. His name is Sweet Tooth. Look at the original PlayStation cases. I forgot what those look like. They used to be those tall cases like that.
Nah, I remember these.
Yeah, those were the second run. At first, they were
I don't
big
remember
and bulky.
that big one. I just remember them looking like CD cases.
Yeah, it didn't turn into a CD case.
Why did they not leave it at CD cases?
Yeah,
why did they ever change it and just add all this extra plastic?
I don't know.
Like, even now.
Yeah, I don't know. Just digital's the answer.
Well,
but yeah, Sweet Tooth. So they'll have Sweet Tooth in the movie, I'm sure.
Right. I mean, that looks like him right there.
Oh,
is there a TV
it's a
series?
TV series, huh?
On Peacock?
Yeah.
Man, there's so many different what do you call it?
Streaming
Streamers now?
services. Yeah.
Dude, you want to watch anything, you got to spend way more than you would on cable even.
Oh, with all the services?
Yeah, in order to get them all.
And Peacock's free.
I thought it was like a Peacock Plus or something that you got to get these.
Oh, maybe it's a Peacock Plus. I don't know. I don't know anything. I
Everything's got a
literally
plus on
just
it.
found out about it.
You know how it is. Everything's got a little plus on it. Now.
Yeah, I know.
Add a plus, that means money.
Plus money. But yeah, the trick is just to Google a show, and then Google will tell you all the platforms where you can watch it.
Right.
That's the trick.
I mean,
otherwise, you'll spend 30 minutes going through each app.
Oh, for sure.
That's why I'm surprised that somebody hasn't made some kind of like app that consolidates all of them, and you do one search and it searches all the apps. You know, like, oh, I want to watch Mary Poppins, and then it's like, oh, here's all the Mary Poppins, and you click on it, and then it opens the app and launches it. Like, why is that not a thing?
I'm sure that happens on a computer.
On a computer?
Yeah, so like name a movie. Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy, there you go.
Oh, I got to write the word stream after it. And then it tells you all the places where they are.
Okay.
And then I'm like, let's say I want to watch it on Hulu.
Right.
Now, if I was logged into it, I would just hit play.
Right. So you got a good point there. But basically an app for like on a TV app.
Right.
That's what we need is a TV app. Something with an interface that actually shows images and gives information, you know, kind of like the internet does. Oops.
Yeah, kind of like Google browser does.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got another believe it or not.
All right.
And this will be real eventually. Do you believe it's real now? Self-repossessing cars.
Yes. 100% real. Yeah. So do you mean does the technology exist? Is it in a car as we speak?
Yes.
I think it's in a car as we
that
speak.
you just hit a button and that car just gets repossessed and it comes self-drives it back to the lot or wherever we're repossessing your
It
ass.
just needs to be activated, but it definitely exists. Elon Musk was talking about like there's hidden stuff in the car where you can make your car dance. You know, you can get out and your car will do a dance to a song.
I think I've heard that, but the way that I understood it is that it like flashed lights and did stuff like that.
Oh, is that what it does?
Yeah, versus like
I imagined
moving.
it was like driving and moving around.
That's not the way that I understood it. I could be wrong though, but this was just a thing that I saw. I didn't do any research on it. I literally just saw this image that said Ford files for a patent for self-driving cars that would be able to repossess themselves if you don't make payments. That's
interesting that they're going to get a patent on that because the patent would have to be like something that already exists, like a car can drive itself.
Yeah.
So what are you going to patent? You're going to patent the ability to take something back? That's like a behavior. That's not an actual thing. I'm confused about the patent. It almost seems like a law that would need to be passed, like a repossession law.
I mean,
yeah, like what's the patent here? This is like blowing my mind. This is almost like wood milk.
That's why I asked you if you thought it was real.
I believe it's real 100%.
So the drive.com.
And I believe the technology is already out there in the cars. It's just whether it's able to be used legally or whether it's ever been used is another
lending
thing.
Institution and police authority. So they're applying
that's
for like
the
this network.
Thing. It's a network that links the police authority, the closed garage. What is all that?
So what it does is it opens your garage.
That's a violation of privacy. Now you're going to mess with someone's personal house
I don't know how
property.
it works. I mean, I don't know if this is what it's saying.
But
it's
no,
going to open a garage.
Even opening a garage, that's a good point. How would you repossess a car that's in a garage?
Maybe if it's self-driving, maybe they turn something off so it doesn't start or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
So like you can't move it at least. I have no idea. But it looks like they're trying to do a patent so that the police can be alerted of where you are and they could turn the car off or turn it to where it drives you to the police station.
Yeah. Which makes sense. Before they do repossession, why don't they just start by stopping police chases?
Right.
You know what I mean? Let's start small. Something that's already happening that doesn't need to happen. If a police officer's pursuing a car.
Cool. Do you know how to read a patent? Because
I don't know if I've ever seen one. This clause generally pertains to the systems and methods to repossess a vehicle. So it is the systems and the methods which is wild that we have so many systems and methods very similar to this in place.
Right.
I don't see this patent actually going through.
In an example, the patent will go through. It's just a matter of are they going to be using it?
I don't think it will. They have to say
you can get patents for just about anything nowadays.
Yeah, but it has to be unique. You can't just get a patent on something that already exists.
Yeah.
A networks exist.
Let's see. An example method: a first computer sends a second computer a message pertaining to a notice of delinquents of a vehicle-related payment. The message includes a request for an individual, such as a purchaser, or I'm not reading all this.
Yeah, the process is like this, dude. At work all the time, I make these things. Like, we write requirements. We have an IT team that does it. They don't patent these things because it's just a process. And it's a normal process of it sends information to a system, that kind of stuff. I'm kind of confused about it. I don't imagine this patent's going to go through.
They're trying to patent something so that nobody else can do it, or at least they get the money if somebody else wants to do the same thing. But then again, like you said, I don't know how patents work.
Right.
They have patents on literally everything. And when I say that, I mean patents on, and I'm just throwing out random examples, bottle caps.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I got a patent on the little insert that goes into your bottle cap so that it stays airtight.
Exactly.
And if you want to use that little insert, you got to pay for that patent.
Exactly, which is a real thing. Those are real things.
Those are two different patents.
That's a unique thing.
For sure.
That's on there that keeps it sealed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it has to be something unique. Yeah, it's interesting. I definitely see this happening.
But as of right now, you don't believe it.
I don't think that the patent's going to go through. I think more or less it's just getting the wheels in motion to continue on this path of self-driving vehicles.
Yeah.
And also to get government involved, because I feel like the first step would be get the government involved.
I'm against all of it.
Agency. I'm against it too.
I'm against it all.
I mean, think about it. It's going to be your personal. It's going to be personal privacy and your personal property is going to be like, because what if it's in your garage?
No, but it's not. So, but the thing is,
what if there's a kid in the back seat?
So there are things that make it where it's difficult, like the things that you're bringing up. But in the end, it's not your property. It's the bank's property.
Yeah, the stuff that's in it's your property, though.
Yeah, but do they care when they come repossess it nowadays?
No.
They don't give two shits about what's inside of it. They want the car.
Yeah, no, that is true.
And they get away with it now. So why wouldn't they get
do.
away with it then? The only thing that I do think would be difficult is, one, if there's people inside of it. I think there has to be some sort of a sensor that says you can't take people away.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing would be if it is inside of your property.
Right.
Like, are they going to be able to destroy your property in order to get to it? I don't think so. Just like you can't do it now.
Right.
So there's probably going to be like limitations to it, but
the first step,
crazy.
The gateway to this needs to be stopping police chases. That's something that people can get on board with.
Turn the car off, yeah.
That's something you can get on board with, but the problem is it is a gateway. It will lead to this.
Oh, it'll lead to all kinds of crazy
It'll lead
stuff.
to the government having control of it. And there's no way that a car company is going to have control over something that a government doesn't regulate and have control.
It'll lead to too much overreach. That's why I'm against it.
It'll be overreach, 100%.
But staying with cars, okay, this is, can you get behind that?
Okay.
Sony has teamed up with Honda to create their first electric car.
Sony's car. Okay. I was like, Honda has electric cars.
Yeah,
okay,
but Sony has teamed up to make
the Sony car.
So take a look at this.
It's the PlayStation 6.
And tell me what you think about this.
Futuristic.
It says it has no sound, but there's clearly sound.
I feel.
Just take a look at this, the car when they start looking at it. I don't know why it's not saying there's sound. Because this doesn't help if you don't have sound. Hold on a second.
So you've actually listened to it?
Yeah, he actually talks about the car.
Okay. Yeah, we got to hear it. Can't just like listen to me breathe.
Yeah. Who wants to listen to him aspirate? I'm being real mean.
Futuristic cars. All right, here we go. Everybody's on the bandwagon for these new electric cars and futuristic look.
When I saw this, I said, "This is too much."
It's too much, huh? And this is coming from a generation that had Pimp My Ride, and you're saying it's too much.
And you'll see why.
Okay.
Because Pimp My Ride was too much, but it was. Pimp My Ride seemed.
It had exhibit.
It did, but it seemed like not necessarily safe, but it seemed something. I don't know. It didn't seem. Look, you'll just have to see what I'm talking about.
All right, yeah. Let's see.
I'm sorry.
Sony just built a car.
A Fila.
That's what they're gonna call it.
Okay.
But it's them and Honda.
The brand name is called a Fila. As you can guess, this is fully electric, but there's no information on range or price. What I can tell you is that this will have LiDAR to enable level 3 self-driving. That means eyes off and hands off. You also get a light bar that goes all the way across the front end, and right in the middle you get a digital display that can show your charging, or it can show you things like the weather. To get in, it's going to use this camera for face recognition. Inside, you get this giant glass roof. Your seats are going to be environmentally friendly. You have a screen that stretches across your entire dash, a yoke steering wheel to improve your visibility of that screen. You have a regular mirror, digital mirror, but it gets way better. Because this is a Sony car, and Sony also makes PlayStation, you can play PlayStation while you're charging, of course. So not only is the screen resolution insane, I can actually watch movies and I can
with the
swipe
cloud.
and
Like
throw it
100%
on
of
either
the time,
side.
yeah.
That's the technology that Ford's trying to patent.
I don't know. Look at this giant screen.
Oh yeah, I've seen
Right
that.
now we're in the
I've seen
standard
that
theme,
type
but I
of
think
screen
I'm
on
gonna
cars
choose
It
that
goes
are.
all the way across,
Yeah,
Once I
the
apply that,
Genesis
my
it looks like that, and it's just a regular car.
And I get a spider
That's
man
like-
background.
like
And
by
I can also
Sega.
do
I know,
talking
which is
about?
ironic that we're talking about the
What are you
Genesis.
talking about?
I only know because I work with somebody
Sony
who
also
bought this
makes headphones,
Genesis
so
a
the
couple
sound
weeks
system
ago,
here
and she was
is a
talking about how
Sony sound
awesome it is,
system.
and I looked it
And
up,
has
and it has that
360
same
reality
screen.
audio, which is Sony's version
think it's
of Dolby
electric.
Atmos.
So this doesn't say a whole lot here.
Yeah, they didn't say a lot. I saw so the sensor technology is so used in every vehicle now. It's crazy.
So what I saw here in this video is they talk about this light that goes all the way across.
Yeah, what does that thing do?
It can change colors. It changes it tells you what it's charging.
Okay.
Tells you the weather. Who
Okay.
cares?
Right,
He
you need the
speaks
weather.
to it and it
when-
opens the door.
Yeah,
That's real dumb.
I'm sure that exists in Tesla.
Talking about the nice leather, but look at this screen. I think he
Yeah.
pulls out a PlayStation controller and starts playing games.
Yeah, the that Genesis car. Whenever there's somebody in your blind spot, your speedometer gauge turns into a TV screen where you get to see the car that's in your blind
Really?
spot. Yeah, like I said, there's sensors and TVs all over the place now.
See, look at him. He's playing a game.
Yeah.
And I go, that just seems unsafe.
So, well, yeah.
Obviously,
it
there's-
probably won't let you do it when you're driving.
Right. It just seems a little bit over the
It's
top to me.
just- It's stupid. Like, come on now.
Like, why would I need to play a video game in my car?
Right, go home.
Yeah.
Go home and play video games.
This is the ultimate, like, it's like they're trying to get more people to be homeless and live in their cars.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they would just make it a little roomier, like a tiny home,
Like
home,
they do a Sprinter van.
do a tiny home mixed with a electric smart car, and you got new housing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no reason to buy a house.
I mean, it's funny because when we were kids, we listened to Matt Foley talk about you're going to screw up your life and go live in a van down by the river. And now people
Now that's
their
the
jobs
American
so they-
dream.
Yes.
Yes.
Wanting to go
Down
live in a
by
damn
the
by
river. Yeah. Yeah,
Now
that's the
people
American
want to
dream.
go live in a van down by the river. It makes no sense.
He had no idea he was being prophetic.
Right. He was
That's
telling the
hilarious.
future.
Yeah, it's very
so
gimmicky.
can you get behind that?
If it was given to me, I'm not buying that thing.
I'm not about that life. I'm not about that life.
Somebody gives me that, I won't sell it. I'll ride in it. I'll drive it.
I'd probably sell it.
I'd hold on to it. I'd probably sell it.
Yeah, I'd probably
Yeah,
sell it.
I'd probably sell it. Probably get something more reasonable.
So apparently there's this game. So got another. Can you get behind that? There's this
Okay.
game called Slam Ball. Have you ever heard of it?
Is it like the trampolines? Yeah, this is an old game.
They're bringing it back.
Okay, they're bringing it back. Nice.
I had never even heard of it.
When I worked for I worked for temp agency when I was like 16, and I worked for the water department, and the guy that I was teamed up with was heavy into gambling, and he had like a bookie and everything, and it was wild. And he was like jokingly putting money on Slam Ball. It was like on TNT back then.
No way. Watch
Yeah.
this guy get slammed right here in the.
Boom, crack.
No, but there was one where I think in this one he gets like hit real hard in the middle of the court.
Yeah, it's kind of like hockey.
Wham!
For sure, yeah.
It's like a mixture of hockey, football, right there.
Oh, how can he check somebody like that?
Wham!
It seems like if you're standing still, you shouldn't be able to check somebody.
No, it seems it's like hockey
Crack.
meets basketball meets football. I don't know.
Boom. Seems
But
like there's a lot of
apparently-
people who eat knees in this, like when you fall.
I can see that.
Yeah, collapsing.
But
and,
according to this, they're bringing it back in July.
nice. It might be fun to watch.
I probably will never watch it. I'll watch highlights like this.
I was in high school when it was out the first time.
Really, I don't even remember it.
Yeah, it was like on TNT.
That's hilarious.
Just Google "was Slam Ball on TNT" to see if I'm right with this. on TNT.
I think it's hilarious that you knew exactly what slam ball was immediately when I said something. It's a CBS product.
It is now. Yeah, I wish I knew. I wish it talked about where
the national network. It was Spike TV,
which before Spike wasn't TNT.
No, I only knew it as Spike. Now it's Paramount.
What was it before Spike?
That's all I've ever known it as is Spike.
Huh. I could have swore it was something else. Well, maybe I was wrong about that. But either way, yep, I know slam ball. I can get behind it. I'd play some slam ball. It sounds like fun, honestly. But it does seem like you get hurt if you're not very athletic.
Yeah, I'm not playing it. I'd watch highlights. But I said that about Slap League, and I watched that whole first season.
Yeah, when you told me the rules of it, I kind of got into it. I was like, what? Maybe I'll get into this slap thing. I never watched any of it.
All the episodes are available free on YouTube. The entire first season is.
Okay. Well, I might check it out.
So I got one more for you here.
Okay, so hold on.
Go ahead.
The Nashville Network. Oh, Get More Action Spike. Okay. It started as TNN, the National. That's what TNN stand for. So it wasn't TNT, it was TNN.
Oh, I don't think I ever remember that.
And I had no idea that TNN stood for the Nashville Network. And that's what turned into Spike.
The National Network.
Nashville. Like Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, I thought it was National.
That's interesting. I had no idea that's what TNN was. I think WWF Wrestling and stuff used to be on there too.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Like, one of them. You know how they had like different networks for different weeks?
Yeah, like SmackDown would be on a different network than like Raw.
Yeah, USA was one of them.
I think they still use USA.
Nice.
So one more. You can only pick 3.
Okay.
Okay. So before we get into this, I wanted to ask you a question first, though. Okay.
All right.
So, and I know you've heard the term like the Big Four when it comes to like grunge.
Yes.
Who would you consider the Big Four?
I think I've heard this from you. I think we've had this conversation because.
Well, we're gonna have it again.
All right. So, and I used to follow this grunge page on Instagram.
Nice.
I don't know what happened to it now that I say I used to. But it was all, and you could kind of go based on that page. Like, who are they always playing clips of? It's always Alice in Chains.
Okay.
Soundgarden.
Okay.
Pearl Jam.
Okay.
And then Nirvana.
And then Nirvana. Okay.
Yeah, that would be the Big Four.
That is probably accurate. Part of me goes, I want to put Stone Temple Pilots in there, but they may not be. But they may not be in the Big Four. If you're the Big Four, you might be right. I'll say Joe's Big Four.
Stone Temple Pilots would be number 5, though, for sure.
Yeah, Joe's Big Four is the Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying Smashing Pumpkins.
Okay, that's interesting.
And then I'm saying, this is a wild card that you probably would say it's a good band, but you wouldn't put in the top of grunge, Bush.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I put Bush in the top of like bands that I
liked.
liked.
Like top 10
when I was
bands,
a kid, like when it comes to grunge bands, I loved Bush. Smashing Pumpkins too. Smashing Pumpkins has kind of like a cult following. It's not like as big as the grunge following.
Oh,
like
okay.
Every grunge lover doesn't love Smashing Pumpkins.
Okay, would you consider the Pumpkins to be grunge though?
It's from that era of music, but I don't know. It's kind of like new rock alternative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not as like, I don't know, like what makes grunge? I feel like it has to be gritty. Smashing Pumpkins got really away from grittiness fast.
I mean, they had some stuff that was, but I also think like Alice in Chains, some of their stuff was gritty, but some of it was like slow and like melodic. It was all right.
Right, but the singer had that gritty sound. He wasn't the best singer.
Yeah, Lane Staley's great.
You know what I mean? Like you got to kind of have some raspy,
some rawness to it.
Some rawness to it. Yeah, it has to sound like it's somebody at the local bar.
Okay.
Where Smashing Pumpkins was always like really well produced, and you know, Billy Corgan's voice is just unique in itself.
For sure.
Yeah.
So with the pick 3, most of these are grunge artists. Some of these are not. All around the same era.
Okay.
I did not realize this until I put this list together. All but one band put out an album in 1994. So these are the lead singers.
So maybe you want me to try to find the band that didn't put out an album in 1994?
Well, guess that first.
All right.
But we got Chris Cornell.
Okay.
Lane Staley.
Yeah.
Scott Weiland.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Vedder.
Yep.
Maynard James Keenan,
Mm-hmm.
Billy Corgan, Kurt Cobain, Dave Grohl, and Gavin Rossdale. I'm sure you're familiar with all the bands that they're associated with.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
In 1994, I don't know. Like Dave Grohl was Foo Fighters a band in '94? I don't think so.
If I'm not mistaken, The Color and the Shape came out in 1994.
Okay.
And I could be wrong. This is one I didn't look up. I think this album came out in 94.
Oh,
97, so 95.
So that's the difference. Okay. Because that's going to be
they didn't,
after.
but this isn't who I was thinking.
Right.
So I guess there's two
okay.
bands.
All right, there's another band then.
So 95. I knew that they had some early 90s, like mid-90s stuff.
I would say, so a band that didn't put out an album in 94, Tool. So we'll go with Maynard.
You're right.
It was like, what, 95 or 6?
I think it was 93 is when they put out The Undertow.
It's before Undertow. They had an EP before then.
Well, yeah, but I'm thinking this is the one that came out the closest. The Undertow came out in 1993.
Wow, that album's older than I thought it was.
So this was the one. This is the closest one. I mean, 93
Wow.
versus 94, yeah.
That's nuts. Okay, so
yeah, but everybody else put out an album in 94.
Okay, so hey, look, I got bonus points already.
Yeah.
So now what's the question?
So this is the thing. If you can only pick 3 of these singers, what 3 singers are you going to pick?
Skills. So we're going to just go based off of singing skills.
That or like, because they did more than just, because like, for instance, Dave Grohl did Foo Fighters and Nirvana.
Right. Definitely not Dave Grohl.
Like Chris
On my
Cornell
list.
did Audio Slave and
yeah.
Temple the Dog.
He did Temple of Dog, Soundgarden.
Soundgarden. I'm like, so that's what you have to think about. Maynard James Keenan, he's done Pussifer and A Perfect Circle.
Right, but when I just think about like singing abilities, because these are all, so I'm going to go based off of singing.
Okay.
And say like top 3 singers. Maynard for sure. That dude can sing better than anybody on this page, 100%. The second the greatest singing skills, I want to say Chris Cornell. He's like really good. It's a unique singing style, so I can't say everybody loves it, but he's very good singer. Mm-hmm. The third good singer, probably Eddie Vedder.
Really?
Eddie Vedder, yeah. He's good, man.
You're going to go with Eddie Vedder.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the top 3 singers, I guess it wouldn't necessarily be like my top 3 like band. It's like hard. I love all these bands, but those are like top 3 like singing skills.
Like you're like, if you can only keep 3 of these are the 3 that you're going to keep.
Yeah, if they're going to go to The Voice,
yeah.
Who's going to make it on the team? Those 3.
Okay. I will pick Chris Cornell as well. He's phenomenal. His solo stuff is good.
Yeah.
There's a song that he did on his solo album. It was live. For some reason, my mind wants to say there was another singer in the album with him.
It might have been Eddie Vedder.
No, I want to say it was a chick. My mind says it was Alicia Keys, but I don't know if that's right.
What? That's crazy.
Well, because Alicia Keys did a song with Jack White. That was
Cool.
real fun.
I like Alicia Keys. Jeff Buckley. I saw something about Jeff Buckley. His late friend, Jeff Buckley.
Let me see if this tells me anything. Maybe it's Can't Change Me, I think is a song. I don't remember. But yeah, listen to his live album. His solo live album was phenomenal. See Natasha Schneider. Maybe that's who it is. I don't know. Some
Latvian,
Russian American singer.
Russian America.
But yeah, he's phenomenal.
Tribute. Hold on, let's see that. What does it say about Cornell's tribute to his late friend Jeff Buckley?
It includes a song called "Wave Goodbye," and that's the song that's in tribute to him.
Because Jeff Buckley has that song "Broken Hallelujah." It's the only song I know by him.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, you know that song's been redone.
Yeah, by a lot of people.
But this is the guy who originally did it.
Did not.
I only
that.
know because I wrote a paper on it. Like I needed to find a musician from a different genre of music.
Yeah.
And I found a song, and I picked that song, and it was really cool.
Yeah, I didn't.
So I got into it.
I didn't know that. But yeah, I would say Chris Cornell for sure because we wouldn't have Soundgarden.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have Audio Slave.
Yeah.
Like, those are the two bigs that I'm like, yeah, I got to go with him.
Mm-hmm.
Next, I'd probably say Scott Weiland.
Singing abilities, nah.
See, but
Stone Temple Pilots is a good band, though.
And that's the reason behind it.
Okay, so then, all right.
Because I look at it and I do this. I go, I can only keep 3. Now, I can keep 3 based on whatever I want to keep him for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping Chris because he's got a good voice and he was in 2 very, very good bands that I don't want to lose music from. Okay? Scott Weiland, I really liked the Stone Temple Pilots and what they did.
Yeah.
He was also in Velvet Revolver, which was a good band as well.
They're pretty good.
So I go, I'm not picking him for his voice. I'm picking him for the music that he put out. I don't want to lose that music.
He made good music.
Like, that's the reason why I'm picking him. And then you're going to say I'm crazy. Out of all of these guys.
You're going to do Dave Grohl. I know you are.
Yeah.
You love Foo Fighters.
Dave Grohl. Well, I mean, I would have. It's not just Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl is a music producer. So he produces music. So the music that he's produced, we wouldn't have. We wouldn't have Nirvana with, I mean, granted, in this case, I'm getting rid of Kurt Cobain, but he is a part of Nirvana, which is an integral part of music in general. And he was in Them Crooked Vultures. Even though that was a side project he did one album for, it was so good.
He's also on Queens of the Stone Age. Remember he drummed for them for a while?
Maybe that's why they got together and did Them Crooked Vultures, and I didn't know that.
Oh, is that the same band?
No,
I didn't know. I never heard of that
Vultures band. Is Dave Grohl on drums.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Holm, the lead singer for Queens of the Stone Age, on guitar and singing, and then John Paul Jones, the bassist for Led Zeppelin, played bass for him.
Oh, that's
it was a 3-piece. Great. They put out one album and it was phenomenal. I will tell you this: Nirvana does not do Dave Grohl justice as how good he is on the drums.
Right.
He really showed his chops in Them Crooked Vultures. It's real bluesy, but check them out. It's fun.
Okay. So yeah, you looked at it as like 3 people that you can't live without their influence on the music.
Their influence and their discography. Like, I looked at it differently. Yeah.
So like Gavin Rossdale, I love his discography. I don't know how much of an impact he had on music, but I mean,
his discography's good. I liked when he did that band Institute.
Yeah, me too. They were cool.
Dude, it's pretty much a Bush with a different name, but it's fun.
It is. Yeah, they were pretty good. Billy Corgan's got some really good music with Smashing Pumpkins, but they also got a lot of music I don't like.
Dude, I'm telling a lot.
That's the thing is they put out a lot. And like Maynard, like Tool has some really good music, but then all the Pucifer stuff I've ever listened to, I'm like, awful. My ears are bleeding. It's so awful. It's like weird. I can't believe people like it.
So like there's an album that came out in 1994 by the Smashing Pumpkins that I'm like, it's not even listed here.
1994.
It's like Pisces something or
Earphobia?
This one right here.
Huh. Yeah, the first one is the Siamese Twins. That's the first one that got them on the map.
Pisces something or other.
Yeah, if you get that Rotten Apples album, that's all you need. It's got their greatest hits.
Oh, this one right here. Yeah,
that's the only one you need.
Oh no, their best album though, by far, Melancholy and Infinite Sadness.
Yeah, it had the most.
That whole album
songs.
from beginning to end. Even listen to the interludes.
Yeah. The
whole album as a whole is phenomenal. Listen to it.
Yeah, Adore has a single. Siamese Dreams has the singles. Zeitgeist. That was the last album I listened to them from. Is Wild Scene. It's 2007. They put out so much music since then. And even that album, I was kind of like, It's kind of like over.
Yeah, it's their 90s stuff that was good.
Yeah, they were good back. Man, they put out so much music. It's insane.
Which a lot of these are live, but yeah.
Yeah, still wild how many albums they have.
Yeah, and they're still kicking it.
Yeah, I mean they're a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, yeah. Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness is their best album by far. Siamese Dream was good too, but
yeah. Click on Siamese Dream. What songs?
Does it have like Cherub Rock on it?
Yeah, it's got Today, Cherub Rock, Disarm. Yeah, see, it has some singles.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those are the big 3.
And then Adore literally has the song Adore.
Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness has a lot of songs.
Has Tonight. Yeah.
Has Zero.
Yeah.
I think it has 1979.
Bullet with the Butterfly
Bullet with
Wings.
Butterfly Wings.
Yeah, 1979. That was my favorite song by them.
Dude, is it
still
not
is my favorite.
the most 90s music video
Right.
of all time?
Yeah, the video where they're like going to the gas station and like they're in a car. They're just
I just
going
remember
around.
the very beginning of it when they're like inside those giant tires just rolling down the hill.
Yeah. But that sound though, dude, that da-na-na-na-na, it's like ba-na-na, and it's like the guitar's making the sound, but it sounds like a voice.
Yeah.
Now it's like so
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
Yeah, this whole album is actually really good. It was a 2 discs album, but listen to this one front to back. Even these interludes, like
Yeah.
I call them interludes. These filler songs that
Yeah,
didn't become singles were still good.
Tonight, that music video is great.
I don't know if I
Dude,
remember
you
it.
know, so there's a movie that came out about it, but there's an old black and white movie, and tonight is like recreating that movie and the music video, where like the rock with like the cheese moon, and the rocket that's going to the moon, and then they fight off some aliens.
No idea.
Dude, it's literally based off of like Google like what's the movie what's the music video based on? A Trip to the Moon, yeah, inspired by Georges Méliès silent. It's a silent film,
I've
an
never heard
old
of
black
that.
and white silent film. They actually made another movie that I watched that I had no idea was related to that as well, where they make that silent film at the end.
Really?
And it actually like showed it, and I'm like, oh, this is that Smashing Pumpkins video. This is where this is from. It was like almost identical to silent
I'll have to
film.
look
and
at
that.
it.
It's
Well,
really
I mean, it
cool.
says here the third and final concept, so they may have done a few different renditions of it. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I just know I think of the Foo Fighters and I think of Futos.
Yeah. Futos.
When
That's
they were
like
doing, like, the
Mentos.
Mentos for Big
it goes
Me.
through the car.
And then they did in Everlong. Anytime that dude would get mad, his hand would grow massive and he'd slap people with it.
Yeah.
Like,
And they had
like they did like parodies.
They have really good videos. They do parodies. They have the one the Learn to Fly. That was a good video.
I don't know. I mean, I know the song. I don't know the video.
Yeah, it was a good
that
one.
either.
It was another really good video. This is back, man. Whenever that's what was awesome about the '90s music is that the videos were always like just as worthy as the songs were.
Because that's what put them on the map. Oh, I do remember this one because they were like, gosh, what's that movie with Tom Hanks? That thing you do, like a doo-wop band, is what they were like taken as.
Wait, is Dave Grohl doing blackface right there?
No, he's just got dark skin.
Okay, look at that mustache though.
It's a pencil thin mustache.
Dude, that looks awful.
Hey.
Yeah. All right, don't want to get him canceled.
Come on.
You're like defending.
Watch out.
No, he's just tan.
No, I don't think. I mean, the lighting. I don't think he looks
I
like a
just
white
wonder
guy
if
there.
he's doing a black character though.
Oh no. If you watch the video, he's like the stereotypical white guy, like overly
Okay.
happy
All
white
right,
guy.
All right. You talked me down from it.
Good.
Yeah.
Either way, I say out of these 9 guys, you really can't go wrong.
You can't.
Any of these that you pick. I understand why you pick Maynard because Tool.
The dude is such a
Who
good singer.
cares about
Even Perfect
anything else he's
Circle.
done?
The first 2 Perfect Circle albums, man, the guy's singing is just
I'm just saying it doesn't matter. It's just Tool.
Yeah, Tool's got some good stuff, but Perfect Circle is what made me love Tool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when my stepsister gave me the first Perfect Circle album, and I'm like, oh, this is the greatest. I never even heard a single off of it. I didn't know anything about it, and I loved the album. And then a buddy of mine's like, oh, yeah, that's the same singer from Tool. And I knew like one song from Tool, like 1 or 2 songs.
Yeah.
So I was like, what? This is the same thing? So then I started listening to Tool, and I'm like, oh, Tool is great.
Oh, really?
So when I was a kid, like high school, Tool was my favorite band.
Yeah, I'd only known of Tool. I didn't even know of a Perfect Circle for the longest
Mm-hmm.
time, but they didn't put out an album until 2003, so maybe that's why.
That was, I mean, so between those 2 albums, I came to love
or
them.
the year 2000. I
Yeah,
should say.
because when 2003 came along, I was a huge Perfect Circle fan, and I was so excited about the album. I was
Right.
a little let down at first because it's not like the first one, but I love it.
not quite
now.
as good, but it's still good.
It's
yeah.
just a little. I don't know. It's not as rockish. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
you
gotcha.
want that rock sound. The first album, but the first album was written without Maynard, before Maynard even came along.
Oh, he just came in and sang?
Yeah.
Oh, I
The
didn't know
band,
that.
the guy who produces A Perfect Circle, like made all the music, put the band together, and then I think he even had the drummer from Smashing Pumpkins. It was like a chick drummer originally. And then he brought Maynard in. But then you hear the second album and listen to the second album. It's like, okay, this is some Maynard influence here. It sounds like some Pucifer stuff.
Oh, it does say here. It says the guitar technician for Nine Inch Nails, the Smashing Pumpkins, and Fishbone, and
Billy
Tool.
Howell. Yep.
It's like a bunch of these guys got together. Huh.
Yeah.
I did not know that it was quote unquote like a super group.
Kind of. What's weird is when I saw them live, Billy Howardale was the guy on the front of the stage. Maynard was in the back in the dark. You couldn't even see him. Literally. He was in the dark.
I've heard this. Like, my brother went and saw him once, and he said Maynard had his back to the audience the entire show.
Yeah, you told me about that.
And I'm like, that sounds awful.
He was literally in the black. There was no lighting on him.
Yeah.
I'm like, is he here? Is that him back there?
Right.
Whenever I saw Tool.
He's such a weird dude.
But when I saw Tool, he was like on one. I saw him in Oklahoma City, and he was dressed up like a corn-fed boy. He had like a taco hat, like folded up cowboy hat.
Oh yeah.
He had like an orange hunting vest.
Yeah.
He had cowboy boots and pants.
Yeah.
And he was like
style.
mocking rednecks.
Like Oklahoma?
He was mocking rednecks, and he was like being real obvious up there.
Really?
But yeah. But dude, he was put on an amazing performance for that Tool show. You know that song? There's a song on 10,000 Days album that's like about a guy who gets abducted by aliens, and he's like in a hospital.
I mean, I've heard that album. I don't know what song you're talking about.
Because you might not even listen to the song. It's like an acquired taste. And he talks super fast. He's like, then after brief. And he even has a part. He's like, then after some brief oranges and some spooning. Like he's talking about spooning with the aliens after he ate some oranges. It's I think it's Lost Keys.
Don't get me to lying.
I think it's Lost Keys. Excuse me, doctor. Yeah, do you have a moment? See, it has a nurse talking, and he's in the hospital. He sang this song, and it blew my mind, dude. He was just in the mic, and like just saying all of the words.
Yeah.
But that song's awesome because then it's like has that part. It's like something like it always happens to me.
Oh, I know what song that you're talking about. Yeah.
So it is a cool song,
right?
But it's like most people would probably listen to it and be like, "What is this weird thing with the nurse talking and then he's spouting off stuff 100 miles an hour?"
Yeah.
But he spouted off every word, like
that's
in the
cool.
mic, like, and you could hear it. It was really cool.
Yeah.
So that's
cool.
what stood out to me from the whole performance was them doing this song.
Right.
It's not even a song you would think that a band would want to play.
Nah, it's a filler song.
Right.
Yeah.
But they played it.
And maybe that's what's cool about it. I've always wanted to go see him. They're at a point where I don't know that I ever will.
Yeah, the tickets are super high now.
That's why.
It's like one of those legendary
I don't want to
bands.
spend way too much money on it.
It was basically a laser show.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I've heard that they're a lot of fun.
Yeah. There was no pit. They even had chairs down in the pit. Everything was, and it was
Yeah, that's
huge.
weird.
It was the Oklahoma City basketball team.
Yeah. Like their arena.
Yeah, so it was a big arena, and it was full, and I was way up in the arena. Seats everywhere, and it was weird. But it was cool as an experience.
Yeah,
It wasn't
it's
like
an
a normal
experience.
concert you go to.
Right. Yeah, I felt that way when I went and saw U2 at Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
Yeah,
It was like a play. It's like a show. Is what it is. It's not a
seems like
concert.
something
It's
you
a
dance
show.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a full experience.
Yeah.
But so shout out to the Black Butte Porter. I thought it was great. Larry's an idiot. It's better than he says it is.
Hey, it's subjective.
No, you're absolutely right. No, I was really digging it right now with the weather. So if you see it, go check it out. But also make sure to follow us online at _Dudes and Brews. But we're out of here.
Hey, peace.
We appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode of Dudes and Brews. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever platform you're on. We're on there. We have a YouTube channel, Dudes and Brews. We would love if you would subscribe there as well. If you are subscribed and you want to help us out just a little more, unsubscribe and resubscribe again. It sounds funny and stupid and kind of obnoxious, all of the subscribing and resubscribing and stuff, but it helps in these little algorithms games for like climbing the charts, because again, we are organic and we are where we are because of you guys.
Yeah, we really do appreciate your support. Shout us out. We really do love it when you guys interact with us, when you add us, mention us, put us on your stories, tag us, all that fun stuff, all the stuff the kids are doing. we like grabbing that stuff and we put it up for you guys. So we appreciate you so much. Keep having fun, drinking them brews, hanging with them dudes. Tune in next week for another episode of Dudes and Brews.